Alyssa, and for Asian Awareness Month, I'm here to talk about my experience as being half Asian. I'm half Sri Lankan and half white, which means that I'm mixed. There's my dad, and there's my mom. Now, I know some of you must be thinking to yourselves that I'm not Asian, but actually, I'm South Asian. This is a map of the continent of Asia. Normally when people think of Asians, they only think of East Asians. But as you can see, Asia is a very large continent with many countries. Right there is India, and directly below India is the small island of Sri Lanka. To give you a better idea, here's a world map, and once again, right below India is Sri Lanka. This is where my dad was born. He lived there for a very small amount of time and moved to Canada when he was 4. Although my dad's Sri Lankan heritage is an important part of his identity, he is a Canadian through and through, just as much as anyone else that lives here. Okay, now about me and my experience. I have lived in Tuscany my whole entire life, which is a community of majority white people. I've always felt extremely welcomed by the community that I grew up in, and I feel like no one ever looked at me as the minority, they just looked at me as Alyssa. However, the reality is that I am a minority, and that can come with struggles that are a result of society, and which aren't necessarily anyone in my community's fault. For example, lack of representation in the media can really impact a person's self-confidence. Our society is very heavily influenced by the media and by pop culture, and we often look at celebrities or movie or TV show characters as heroes or as the standard that we should all strive to look or act like. But when the people in these positions are primarily white, it can make me feel out of place. I'll think to myself, I don't look like that, so maybe I'm not pretty. Or I'll think to myself, I know that I'm beautiful, but why don't others think so too? Another issue is that when South Asian characters are given representation, they're often portrayed by stereotypes that can sometimes be offensive. In movies and shows, brown people are chosen to be the nerdy and undesirable characters because the way we look doesn't fit society's description of what the hero of the movie should look like. And even if these are just silly TV shows, sometimes these misrepresentations can trickle down into our everyday lives and affect how other people see us South Asians, which they might see us in a way that we find to be hurtful. So to all of you watching this video who have ever felt like you weren't good enough because of your skin color, or you feel like you don't fit the bill of society's beauty standards for whatever reason, I hope that you can embrace your differences because they're what make you beautiful. And as we continue with Asian Awareness Month, I hope you can continue to learn about and appreciate Asian cultures. I also want to thank you for listening to me talk, because ultimately the goal is for us to gain deeper understanding and compassion for each other. And the best way to do that is to listen to each other's experiences.